Hello everyone. Today we will be ranking all fruits from worst to best. In this ranking, the fruits will be rated 60% PvE, 30% PvP and 10% value, or how easy it is to obtain the fruit. The last time I ranked all fruits was 4 years ago, so it is about time to make a better and updated one. Enough yapping, let's get right into the video. The worst fruits are of course the commons, specifically spin, kilo, suki, and heel. I will not be discussing them further, but kilo is the best among the list. To cut things short, do not eat any of these common fruits. It's better to be fruitless, trust me. Next is bari. This fruit only has 3 moves that deal damage, and its damage output is low. Its skills also have a long cooldown, which makes it really bad for PvE, but for PvP, it's actually decent. With the right weapons, you can make bari a kage combo extender and trap the enemy, and you can protect you and your teammates with barrier sphere, making it useful for team fights. So bari is pretty much just a support fruit, making it sit at the bottom. Next is yomi. This fruit is also bad for PvE. It does not have a long-ranged move, making it one of the worst fruits for PvE. And its moves don't hit continuously, except its ultimate, making its damage output also low. For PvP however, yomi is good, because you can get revived when you die. Soul form is a true combo extender, plus chilling soul, if you time it right. But that's basically it. Yomi is just a PvP fruit. Next is spring. Just like yomi, this is also a PvP fruit. Face breaker is a true combo extender, and death knock is one of the best block breakers in the game. But for PvE it is also bad. All of its moves are only close ranged, and most of them are single hitters. So yeah, if you are a PvP guy, spring is for you. Next is bomu. If you are a new player grinding for levels, this fruit along with gomu are the best ones for you. But for PvE overall, it's decent when used right. You can easily get credit from bosses with your Ralton mines. For PvP, it's also decent, because with the right weapons, you can combo mines into grab for good damage. The main problem of bomu is that most of its skills only work when you're touching the ground. And with a bunch of new fruits being added, bomu has become outdated in the current GPO. But it is still a decent fruit for a rare. Next is goru, worst legendary of all time. It doesn't have any damage or range. It can work for PvP, but that's about it. Don't eat this fruit, for you should rework it. Next is kira. This fruit is ground based, doesn't have a barrage, deals low damage, and the range of the skills are doo-doo. When the bar is maximum, the diamond mode has damage reflection and reduction, but that's the only good thing about this fruit. So yeah, mid fruit but still decent, because of its diamond mode, that makes you a tank. Next is horo. Hollow barrage deals good damage, and can be spammable, making it better than bomu and goru for PvE. Horo is also decent for krakens and megalodons due to hollow barrage's long range. It is also decent for PvP as it has a true combo extender. Horo also doesn't consume much stamina. Overall, a good fruit for beginners, and for players who can't afford legendaries yet. Next is mero. It has 2 barrage moves with decent range and damage, namely Love Wave and Burst. Love Pistol has long range, and can be spammable, making mero a good PvE fruit for a rare. It can work against sea or air bosses, such as krakens and megalodons, because of Love Pistol's range and spam ability. For PvP, it doesn't have combo extenders, but has long stuns and block breakers, so it's decent. Overall one of the best cheap fruits out there. Amazes me on how good mero is for PvE, even though it is only a rare fruit. The best rare fruit for grinding levels. It has a low cooldown, long range gomu pistol that deals decent damage which is decent against NPCs, krakens and megalodons. It has a high damaging barrage that's enough for boss credits, and if you unlock it, you have a Gear 2 mode which makes the fruit even better. For PvP however, it is mid, because the moves are predictable, and has no combo extenders. But even without Gear 2, gomu is still decent overall. In my opinion the best cheap fruit for beginners. The second worst legendary fruit. Smoke doesn't really have high damaging and big area of effect moves. It does have a barrage that deals okay damage, but it only has a short range. It is not that good for PvP unlike Kito, so I don't really see a reason for anyone to eat this. Overall a mid fruit for both PvE and PvP, Smoke needs a rework just like Goro. Next is Yuki. The main problem of this fruit is its range, making farming harder. It doesn't do as much damage as other fruits. The snow bunny turret is what carries this fruit, but also useless when you are not touching the ground. For PvP, it is also bad, because it doesn't have a combo extender and a good block breaker. It can deal good damage, if used right though. Overall, a kind of decent fruit for farming land humanoid bosses, but bad for krakens, megalodons, and other NPCs that don't touch the ground. Ito has really good block breakers that can catch your enemies off guard. It also has a true combo extender. Ito is one of the best PvP fruits out there. For PvE on the other hand, it is what the fruit really lacks. It doesn't have any barrage and high damaging moves. They are all single targets. Ito's best feature though is its mobility move that turns you into Spider-Man. Sky Strings is really fun. Overall a fruit for PvP only, not good for grinding. Zushi is one of the top fruits for PvP. It has two combo extenders which are gravity pull and dominance. It sucks for PvE sadly, because the only reliable moves are the meteors, but these meteors also have a long cooldown, especially the ultimate. Overall, mid for PvE, but immensely good for PvP. A fruit just like Ito and Cage, but is ranked higher due to special buffs when paired with hoverboard and gravity cane, and has a useful floating ability. Kage is also one of the best PvP fruits. It has good moves, good block breakers, and two amazing combo extenders. For PvE, what carries Cage is its ultimate. It can summon a clone that deals high damaging M1 and shadow skills. Without the clone, you will have a hard time fighting bosses. Overall, becomes a decent fruit for PvE with the clone, amazing for PvP. Pour is very good for PvP. Same with the other fruits, it has good block breakers and a combo extender, and also has a counter and teleport move which can be handy in risky situations. On the other hand, it is also decent for farming due to its moves, having fairly low cooldown and deals good damage with its barrage and single hitters. Overall, awesome for PvP and okay for PvE, but just not as good as others. Next is Yami. Dark Liberation, or the skill that has a long barrage, carries Yami hard for PvE. It deals multiple hits with high damage and long range. However, the problem is that you cannot cast it mid-air. So, this fruit is only good for PvE when you are touching the ground, so that Dark Liberation works. For PvP, Yami is also amazing, because it has one true combo extender, and a semi-combo extender that block breaks. Overall, good for PvE when you are on the ground, and very solid for PvP. One of the OG fruits. Goro is good for farming as all of its move has great AoE, good damage, long range, and has one of the best flight moves in the game. For PvP, it has a true combo extender, and it has really annoying moves that you can extend off of if executed right. The main con of Goro is its high stamina drain, and barely has a move that deals continuous damage. Overall, good fruit for both PvP and PvE, it is fun to use as well. But the other fruits are just more effective. Yes, a mythic like Ope is not ranked that high. It is because Ope is more of a close combat and ground based fruit. This reason is also why Ope is really bad for mid-air or ocean enemies, like megalodons and krakens. But for humanoid NPCs, Ope is still great, because its moves deal crazy damage, especially the gamma knife. One gamma knife can give you enough damage to get the 5% boss credit. The problem is that you gotta hit your moves, because they have smaller OE, making the fruit harder to use. For PvP however, Ope is amazing, especially with Kikoku. It has a true combo extender And with Kikoku, you can unlock Oak's full potential, because it gives a sword 2 free moves that's good for PvP. Overall, situational for PvE where it only becomes useful on the ground, and awesome for PvP in general. One of the most underrated fruits, Hiii's special ability is that it can walk on water, making it really good against rumbling, kraken and megalodon's parties and is spammable, and does good damage, making Hiii really good against bosses that don't move, such as Resurrected Baal. Although Hiii's weak point lies in humanoid bosses, because most of its moves have smaller OE except Ice Stomp, you can still get credit for bosses if used right. For PvP, Hiii has a true combo extender, and consists of viable moves that have long stuns. We all know Hiii has always been good for PvP. Lastly, it has the most overpowered move in the game, Ice Spike. Overall, Hiii is great for both PvE and PvP, and is one of the best fruits for beginners, because it is cheap and easier to get. Another OG fruit. Mera is good for everything. Its moveset works for both mid-air and ground. It also has a flight move where you can still cast your skills. Sadly, it's become worse due to Firefly's cooldown being nerfed hard. Because of that, it now takes you longer to finish off enemies. But hey, it's still really good for overall PvE, but not as efficient compared to old Mera. For PvP, it does not have any combo extenders, but can still be good if you know how to use it. It deals crazy burn damage that can carry you to a win, and has one of the best moves in the game as Flame Pillar. Overall, Mera is still a really good fruit for PvE, but kind of lacks in the PvP side. Still decent for PvP though. The fruit I hate the most. Gura is really solid for PvE. Its moveset deals really high damage, and has one of the biggest ROE, especially Blast Clutcher. Its ultimate is the biggest skill in the entire game. For humanoid bosses, Gura is one of the best, because it also has a grab that stuns bosses for a long time, while still receiving damage from your teammates. The main con of Gura though is its fairly long cooldowns, and it sucks against ocean and mid-air enemies. For PvP, it is one of the strongest and most complete fruits out there, because it has a really good counter, block breaker, and combo extender. Overall, Gura is one of the best cheap fruits you can eat. Another underrated fruit. Suna is one of the best legendaries for PvE. Its moves deal high damage, especially Tornado and Spatter. Suna works best against big bosses like Resurrected Baal and Kraken's Beside Islands. Almost all of its moves are block breakers, which makes it even better for both PvE and PvP. It also has 2 combo extenders. The problem with Suna though is that it is another ground-based fruit, so it is bad against megalodons and the likes. It can fly though. Overall, in my opinion, the 3rd best legendary fruit. It is also one of the cheapest legendaries you can eat. This fruit is the best for humanoid bosses alongside Venom. Full form Buddha can deal the highest damage in boss raids, can solo bosses, and all of its moves can block break. It is one of the only fruits capable of soloing humanoid bosses like Sulking, Katakuri, and the likes. We all know how good Buddha is for PvE. Moreover, Buddha has 2 combo extenders, making it really good for PvP. The main cons of Buddha is that it is, again, a ground-based fruit. It is weak against krakens, megalodons, and the likes. It can also be hard to fill your bar, because its moves are closed ranged. Lastly, it is kind of useless for PvE, if you are not in full form. Overall, Buddha remains one of the 2 kings for humanoid bosses, making it one of the best fruits for PvE, and is really good for PvP. Just don't use Buddha against some bosses that fly or swim. You already know Magu can go toe-to-toe against mythical fruits. It is one of the 2 fruits that can walk on water, which is really useful. Its moves deal crazy high damage with burn. For PvP, although Magu does not have a combo extender, it can still deal crazy damage using Eruption and Fist. This fruit is amazing for both PvE and PvP. It can do humanoid bosses, megalodons, krakens, Santa, and everything. The problem with Magu is its long cooldown, small amount of moves, and no fast mobility. Overall, one's goated and will always be goated. Magu is the best semi-cheap fruit you can get. I hope there will be a Magu V2 soon. What carries Mochi for PvE is its chestnut move. It deals high continuous damage and has a long range, perfect for no knockback bosses such as krakens, megalodons, Santa, resurrected Baal, and the likes. For humanoid bosses, Mochi is only average because the AoE of its moves are very small, making it harder to hit bosses, especially when you are in a public raid, because you can barely see the enemies. That is the main problem with Mochi, along with its high cooldowns. For PvP, unlocking Future Sight makes you harder to hit, making Mochi even better for PvP. Mochi Barrage is a combo extender, and its moves are also decent block breakers. Overall, for PvE, Mochi is either amazing or average depending on which boss you are farming. And for PvP, Mochi is great, and make sure to abuse Future Sight. I prefer Mochi V1 for PvP though, so you can still use your fighting style. We can't forget the OG top fruit. Pika V1 is still viable up until today, even with its V2 version being released. It's amazing against no knockback bosses like krakens and megalodons, because it has light ray and jewels, and decent against humanoid bosses, but not as effective due to its move, having knockback and light ray, being easy to perfect block. For PvP, it is decent. It has a true combo extender being light kick into flight, but its moves can be perfect blocked easily. What carries this Pika is always its flight move. It is the fastest of all fruits, and insanely useful especially during new updates. Overall, still an amazing fruit overall, but if you have Pika V1, I highly encourage you to upgrade to V2. One of the two kings for humanoid bosses alongside Buddha. To be honest, Venom beats Buddha by an inch in boss farming. Its full form generates one of the highest continuous damage with its venom gas, M1s and skill set. Almost all of its moves are block breakers too. If you want to keep farming, or even soloing humanoid bosses like Mahawk, Big Mom, Roger, and the likes, Venom is the perfect fruit for you. For PvP, although it has no combo extenders, Venom still deals high damage especially with the poison move, and has really good block breakers that can catch your enemies off guard. The main con of Venom is that it's another ground-based fruit, but you can still spam Venom Hydra and spit against krakens and megalodons, so it is not bad, but average because it still inflicts poison just like burn. Overall, Venom is definitely one of the best for PvE, specifically the best for humanoid bosses, but average for certain ones, and decent for PvP. Tori is also one of the fruits that are good for everything. Tori's heel and bird form is what separates this fruit from the others. Tori is amazing for PvP. Talon Barrage is a combo extender, and Pyre Apple heals you at will, making it a cancer for PvP as people hate fighting Tori users due to the heal and high damage. For PvE, it is amazing especially with players, because you can heal you and your teammates, have a block like Kage, and M1 in full form, while inflicting high damage with your moves. It works for all enemies, from humanoid bosses to krakens and megalodons. The main con with Tori is its high stamina drain, only 2 damaging moves, Phoenix Brand being buggy, and can turn you into a punching bag when stunned in full form. You gotta be careful during bird form. Overall, a top tier fruit that is awesome for both PvE and PvP, but not as efficient for farming as the top dogs. Pteranodon has 2 barrages in full form that has high damage with burn, and it can also M1, making it awesome for farming. Pteranodon is just a better Tori without the heal. It has stronger skills, deals higher damage, moves faster, and it's easier to fill the rage bar. It is the most versatile fruit out there. It's amazing for krakens, megalodons, humanoid bosses, Santa, and pretty much anything. For PvP, it has a true combo extender, and good damaging combo finishes even in base form. The problem with Tero is that its moves has a small area of effect, making it harder to hit humanoid bosses, and just like Tori, you become a punching bag when you are stunned in full form. Overall, one of my favorite and one of the best fruits in the game. If you need a fruit that's amazing for everything, get Pteranodon. It's not ranked top 2 or 3 because of its main con being the small array of the moves. Dragon is the top 3 fruit because it has the biggest area of effect move set in the game with full form. It deals crazy amount of damage and can inflict burn. It also has a basic attack that has a long range but low damage for PvE. It is definitely top 3 especially when fighting ground or humanoid bosses and krakens near an island. For PvP, Dragon is just decent. Its one combo extender is what carries it for PvP, but the problem lies within its other moves in base mode because they are close ranged, have a slow wind up, and punishable. The main con of Dragon however is that in full form, your skills don't work when you are mid-air or in the ocean, and it barely has any block breakers. Dragon underperforms against megalodons or mid-air bosses, but can still get the job done with hybrid forms Ray. Nonetheless, still top 3 fruit overall even with the setbacks. One of the best for PvE, and decent for PvP. What makes Soul different from all the fruits is its variety in its moveset. It has 2 modes, and becomes 5 with enough soul bar. You can do a lot of things with this fruit, making it one of the most fun fruits in the game, while being insanely good for both PvP and PvE. For PvP, it has the best combo extender in the game. For PvE, it has so many moves you can use which made me lazy to describe them, but in short, just spam every move you have with Soul, especially Prominence Ray and the Rage mode's ultimate with Zeus and Prometheus. They deal tons of damage and has good ROE. What's even better is that Prominence Ray can be used mid-air. However, the main problem with Soul is that it's hard to stack up your soul bar, high stamina drain, and not much block breakers. Extra tip is to use it with Soul Cleaver to stack your souls even faster. Overall, my current favorite fruit in the game, and definitely top tier for both PvE and PvP, which is why it is top 2 in my opinion. Yes, you are seeing this right. Personally, Pika V2 is the best fruit in the game. This is the most versatile fruit. Pika V2 is braindead in PvP because you are given a light sword with high M1 damage, despite the moves already being too good. It has a really good combo extender, and the other moves deal high damage with burn. Pika V2 is probably the best fruit for PvP right now, for the sole reason of what you can do with your stats. You can deal high damage while still having 3000 plus health. For PvE, it is not as efficient as the top fruits like Dragon, Buddha, and Venom, but it is still top 5, performing crazy good with Light Sword, Radiant Ray, and Radiant Jewels. It is amazing for everything, from humanoid bosses to mid-air and ocean ones. But what really carries Pika V2 is its upgraded travel skill. It's even faster and consumes a tiny amount of stamina. Radiant Flight is the best skill in the entire game. The only con is that you can easily perfect block the skills if you are experienced enough in PvP. Overall, the best fruit in GPO. That is all. Let me know down in the comment your opinions on my list. I would love to hear them.